everyone, and welcome back to another Getting Stuff Painted. This one has been slightly delayed. You may have already heard me say this in a couple of more recent videos, but video production stopped for a little bit because unfortunately I injured my back, and this involves a lot of miniatures that have been seen in battle reports and videos already, but I couldn't get around to it because of the back injury. Things are getting back up to speed now though, and it's time for us to go over all this stuff. So we have some Blood Bowl, we have some DC miniature game, we have a bunch of Batman miniature game, a little bit of Crisis Protocol, and then also some props for Aliens Another Glorious Day in the Core. Now at the moment, I am knee deep in trying to get the Cursed City miniatures painted. I might do like just focusing on that type thing. There's 60 miniatures in the box. I think I'm 20 deep at this point. There's a lot more to go, but that's taking up a lot of my time at the moment, so I guess it's kind of just as well that this got delayed a little bit. But either way, let us start talking about things from left to right, everything done in contrast as always, but let's go into the details. So for the 2018 Blood Bowl starter set, still cracking away at these orcs. I regret starting this team and not the newer orc team from the second season box set. We have one more lineman. I think there is one more lineman in the box, but you don't need to do him to get to the 1,000,000 gold you need for a team, I think. And then we also have the 2 throwers from the box as well. Although I wouldn't have said orcs are particularly focused on throwing the ball, more like throwing each other at the opposing team. But just cracking away, this is number 5. Already talked about the colours used, but to quickly go over: Blood Angels red, Warp Lightning green, and copious amounts of Agrax Earthshade, and just using the Grey Seer base coat for the trousers, for the numbers, and some of the slashing or paint marks on the shoulder pads as well. The throwers have less armour because on the tabletop they're weaker. Is this the right one? I'm looking for the next number not along. He was number 5. We need number 6. This is number 6. So they've got a bit more of the under armour showing, which is just in Black Templar. He's doing the Usain Bolt kind of pose. He's going to throw a long bomb. I don't think anyone on the orc team is particularly good at catching, so I don't know, this might be one of those positions where you don't really want to bring orc throwers, but they're in the box, and it fills spaces until you get more that you can kind of specialise in. So he's my number 6. The numbers aren't going to match because I've missed a lineman at this point, which is annoying, but you know. And then number 7. So I think all that's left is 4 black orcs, and then the team is ready and we can finally get started with a mini 4-team Blood Bowl league. The problem... What is it, Sora? She's lying right next to my foot. I think she heard something that scared her, so she's wanting attention, and it's taking it away from the orcs. But as I was saying, we'll finally get to doing that small Blood Bowl league, with Cursed City and whatnot taking up additional time, and also some new releases. It's taking longer than I thought to get to, which is a shame, but not forgotten about it. It is going to come. We just have to be patient. So I was going to say, well, it is the most recent DC battle report, but it was like 2-3 weeks ago at this point. We have, I was going to call him the Penetrator, but that's a boss from Demon Souls, which I've been playing. We have, what's his name, Eradicator, Cyborg Superman, Mongol, and Dr. Fate, all featured in a recent video. Lots of the Ultramarines blue contrast on offer here, lots of Blood Angels red. He's using the Ultramarines blue for his kind of darker looking, I don't know what to call it, bodysuit. But Cyborg Superman's, in order to make him look more like, kind of like the good Superman, even though he is evil, and very, very insane, that's Talassar blue, and then there's also some robotic parts sticking through his costume. He's lost half of his face and his lower jaw, one of his arms. It's quite neat. He can manipulate metal, sort of, so I think that's why they've given him like this weird hexagonal metal base. And that's just Lead Belcher silver, so not a contrast paint. And for silver, I usually do Nuln Oil over the top. I don't remember, because this was so long ago now, I don't remember if I did that for him or if I just used Agrax to make him look a little bit grimy, because, as I said, Cyborg Superman, not a good guy. Well, actually, maybe he is in more recent iterations. I'm not familiar with him in any recent comics. I think the only comic I've read with him in it is The Death of Superman, but the original run of it. Dr. Fate, another character I don't really know about. Isn't there rumours that Pedro Pascal is going to play him in the DC movies? Or was that just hearsay? So a lot of Iyanden yellow on him with Talassar blue. That is the new Necron paint I think I used for the weird stone he's standing on. I don't know, he's in the kind of like, I'm going to give you a hug whether you like it or not pose. I'm not sure. I'm only familiar with Dr. Fate from the Injustice video games, so I don't really know much about him, other than he really likes looking after Green Arrow and Black Canary for some reason. Maybe he's connected to them, I don't know. Mongol, I think I remember him from the 90s Justice League cartoon. I honestly know nothing about him. Oh, he's also struggling to be in focus. There we go. Shyless purple, Plaguebearer flesh for his fingers and his facial skin, Talassar blue as well. I actually quite like the miniature, and I like how Contrast Paint took to it. It took to the lines just like I hoped it would. The Warp Lightning didn't apply quite right. I don't think I'd shaked it enough. Shook it enough. So it's a little too glazy, like glaze-like for my liking. But at the same time, I think it turned out okay. And he does look like he's about to just stomp down on somebody, which is pretty cool. He didn't perform that great on the table on his first showing, but there's always next time. So next we have a plethora of miniatures from the Batman miniature game, going from like new-ish to old to really old. 5 of the 6 have already been in the battle report. The Bird, which is the sidekick for Soldiers of Fortune, he's Bane Lieutenant from the Batman Arkham Origins video game. As far as I'm aware, that's the only source on him. I don't think he's been in the comics. From the Suicide Squad, we have Killer Croc, we have Slipknot, we have Diablo, we have Captain Boomerang, and then we have the old Harley's Revenge, Harley Quinn, when she kind of had her own gang after Arkham City and into Arkham Knight. So this one has not been seen on the table yet. She doesn't have a 3rd edition stat card. I'm waiting on one being produced, but then we'll see her on the table. I don't remember how she differs to your usual Harley Quinns. I think she's a bit more scrappy, and her bat's a bit tougher. I like that costume though, it's a fun costume. This is kind of like her morning costume, not as in morning to lunch, I mean morning as in mourning the death. So that's when she's kind of in a mood and violent. And she wears it in Arkham Knight as well. And then Bird. Again, exactly how he looks in the Batman Arkham Origins video game. That's Militarum green with Black Templar, wash of Agrax Earthshade over the top, Blood Angels red for the tactical rope around him, whatever that's for, and a little bit of snakebite leather on the holster for his knife there as well. And just Basilicanum grey with a little bit of Bautan green and Agrax for the mossy cobblestone he's standing on. Not my favourite iteration of Killer Croc by any means, but very quick and easy to do with contrast. That's Militarum green for his face, snakebite leather for his hoodie, and then Wildwood brown for his outer jacket, trousers, and just Black Templar for his boots. No additional colour on his bandaged hands, that's just a wash straight on top of the base coat. Yeah. Simple as. I don't know, I don't remember from the movie how pronounced the icon on the back of his back was, so I just put a little bit of Nazdrag yellow, that's the one, to just make it look a little bit highlighted. Don't think it came out as great. Could definitely just lightly dry brush it. Slipknot, nothing really to say about Slipknot. He was done in like 5 minutes. Black Templar with a little bit of highlighting, grey for his trousers, Gulliman flesh for his skin tone, bing bang boom, done, and then a little bit of yellow for the whatever they are, the cables he uses to get around the grapple hooks. Nothing to say about him. He is there to have his head exploded rather than someone who's useful. Captain Boomerang. I don't know how popular the one from the Suicide Squad movie is compared to I know there was one in the Flash TV show. I haven't seen that. I only know that because there was a crossover episode with the Arrow, Green Arrow rather, which I have seen. I think he's largely liked, I think. But either way, Space Wolves grey, Talassar blue, Wildwood for his jacket, and then just a little bit of silver, and again, Gulliman flesh, and a little bit of base coat over the top to highlight whatever it says on his shirt, I don't remember. And then Diablo, the same fire blending I've done countless times before on miniatures now at this point. While it's wet, you mix Blood Angels red, Yandin yellow, Gryph-hound orange if you want. Tried to make it look like it's lighting him up a little bit. Didn't turn out as nice as I would like. The model is surprisingly lanky. Like, his legs seem very long compared to his upper body, for whatever reason. In 2nd edition, he was bad. In 3rd edition, I don't know, still pending on that one. He didn't really get the opportunity by which to show one way or the other without going into too much detail. So just a couple of games that I've got miniatures done for left to cover. This is Crystal, the Last Inhuman. I know I did kind of pose the question, would you like to see a painting video on Crystal? I wanted to get a match with the Inhumans in ASAP, so I didn't wait. And I think there was like 2 people who said sure. I can quickly go over how I did it though. This is Iyanden Yellow and Black Templar Black on her armour. Exactly the same strategy for the fire in her hand that I just described for Diablo. As a truck goes past, oh no, not going past my window, stopping in front of my window. Wonderful, why am I getting stuff painted? It's always so cursed. Basilicanum Grey for the stone she's standing on with non-oil over the top. Not aggressor shade this time. And then for the water effect, I believe I started with Ultramarines Blue, let it dry, then applied Talisar Blue to the edges, because I only put Ultramarines Blue kind of in the deep parts. And then once that was dry, I dry brushed Grey Seer over the edges, so it looks like it's foaming a little bit. I definitely could be done better, but honestly I was struggling for trying to think how I would do this, and I'm kind of happy with how it turned out, honestly. I think it looks okay. Now, I guess I'll do a quick break here to let the truck that stopped outside go away so we can cover the props from Aliens. Sadly not, that truck is not going anywhere anytime soon. It's here to pick up skips from a neighbour's house that's getting some renovations done. So instead, I'm just going to have to quickly move along here to the finale of the video. So from the last video in the Colonial, I keep wanting to say Colonial Marines because of the video game. Another Glorious Day in the Corps. We had 2 face huggers that featured in the mission. Now, I'll be honest, this was so long ago now that I had these painted, I don't remember what base colour I used. I think I used Snakebite Leather, and then with a wash over the top to give them that face hugger colour, but I can't remember. It might have been Nazdrag Yellow, you know, but I don't think they look gold enough for it to have been that. Don't you hate that? When you leave something sitting for so long, you forget how you did it. That's partially why these videos are handy for me. If I ever forget how I did something, I go back and watch and remind myself. We had an item crate, which is just simple Basilicanum Grey, Nazdrag Yellow for the Weyland-Yutani symbol, and aggressor shade over it to give it that kind of grimy, mucky, rusty look for sitting in Hadley's Hope for however long. And the 2 turrets that featured prominently in the series finale of the base campaign. These were done in Nazdrag Yellow. I remember specifically doing that with a wash over the top to give them, again, that wear and tear look. A little bit of red for the laser sight. And yeah, and just Basilicanum Silver and Agrax for the base as well. So a couple of them. And that is going to conclude showing you everything that I've been having sitting here on this table for quite a while, because I didn't want to bend over a camera with my back so sore. But we are on the road to recovery now, so I'm glad to finally get this out of the way. As I say, there might be a special one of these focusing purely on Warhammer Quest Crusade, because that is 99% of what I'm painting right now. Still hoping to get more of the Orcs done. Got the new Batman releases to do. Still waiting on the releases for Crisis Protocol this month because they've been delayed worldwide, I think. And what else do we have on the to-do list? The to-do list is too long to remember. That's partially why you should get your Grey Shame painted. On that subject, if you want to show me, feel free to show me on Discord or Twitter at GamerEnd. I don't mind seeing the miniatures you've been painting, even if it's from stuff I don't play, I don't mind. I just like seeing stuff painted. Painting is a very relaxing, fun hobby, even if you're not good at it, case in point. So yeah, with that, I think that's covered everything. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again in maybe 2 weeks, give or take, again, for a potential Cursed City focused special, or another regular one. Wait and see. Have fun, get painting, see you next time. Ta-ta for now.